Hello, everybody. Welcome to a Marketing Monday with Ira Bowman. I am starting this brand new show. I have been doing Ask Ira Job Seeker Q&A on Mondays for quite a while. Took a little bit of a break. I've been kind of toying around with different show ideas, different dates to do things. And many of you know I run Bowman Digital Media. So I thought, it'd be kind of cool to have a marketing show and Mondays and marketing, so there you go. That's how I came up with the name of the show. It's really that in depth. But I think that this is going to be a show that a lot of you will be interested in because coming to us from the US, welcome. A lot of you are doing things a little bit different. Obviously, we're working from home. You might be used to visiting your clients in person, doing some type of sales activities in person. And so the switch to the digital role has kind of maybe thrown you for a loop. I have a lot of clients that's absolutely the case. So my thought is right now, let me help you. Maybe you have a little bit of Zoom fatigue. How do you reach people without focusing just on Zoom meetings, right? So social media building, email campaigns, your Google ads, or other types of paid social media advertising. You can advertise on Facebook and on LinkedIn and on YouTube and all these different places. Where should you concentrate your efforts? That's going to be the types of things that we're going to talk about in depth on the show. So first out off the gate, if you're not sure what to do, I have a course that I've developed. I actually taught it a few weeks back for Exit Your Way on an e-commerce series that was put out by Kurt Anderson. And now the next one I'm getting ready to do. In fact, let me bring this up. I wasn't ready for this, so just give me a second to find it. But I'm going to be teaching a class for Alibaba on December 15th. That course is free. You do need to register. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this graphic up on the screen. Hang on just a second here. I need to share my screen. So if you guys are interested, and keep telling me where you're from, this is always helpful information. So I have from Houston and Birmingham and Denver. It's good to see you. Hoping you have a blessed day. I'm having a good day. Thanks for joining. June, nice to see you. From Iowa, Danielle, nice to have you. And from Santa Cruz, actually, John, we are not that far apart. My in-laws actually live in Saratoga, just over the 17 hill there. So spent lots of time in Santa Cruz myself. So this is the course I'm going to be teaching. It is called Digital Marketing Deep Dive. It's really designed for e-commerce. It's the e-commerce space. But what I'm going to be teaching in the course, I'm going to be teaching website traffic. Where does it come from? What are all the different sources of website traffic? Well, there's paid advertising, there's social media, your email campaigns, and your referral sources. Those are really the four major buckets. I'm going to be talking about that in detail. It's going to be about an hour long, but there is time for Q&A built in. So I think the course itself is going to run about 40 minutes. But I'm going to talk about how you can figure out keywords, your domain authority, what backlinks, your backlinks, where are they coming from? All those things. So if you're interested, this is a marketing course. It's a digital marketing deep dive. And I'm teaching it. Again, it's for free. If you're interested in that, I will put the link up. I just got to get it real quick. I'll put that link up. You can sign up for free. Okay. So you don't even have to spend any money to come to this thing. In fact, let me just scoot this over and I'll show you. This is the sign up page, and they actually have more than just my class. Some of the classes have already gone. So the first course, which is e-commerce 101 for US manufacturers, that's already happened. And the second course, digital marketing 101, that happened as well. In fact, this one's happened now too. Let's see. So we're on the 7th. So the next class is course 4, which is closing your first online sale. Okay. But here I am on course 6, and it still says TBD, but I believe we're going to be going at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Stay tuned just in case there's a change. I think the only time change it would be to 1 o'clock Eastern. So it'll either be 1 or 2, but I believe we're penciled in at 2 p.m. Eastern. So I'm going to put this link right here in the comments so y'all can sign up. So if you want to sign up, go ahead and hit it right there. I just put it in YouTube and Facebook, and now I'm going to put it on over on LinkedIn so you guys can join me right there. Okay. So this is what I do for my clients. I help people build an audience. So if you're looking to build your social media presence, if you're looking to get more website traffic, if you're looking to build more leads, organic leads really is what I specialize in. Although I do run paid advertising for some of my customers. I have a handful of customers that are paying me to run their Google Ads campaigns. Okay. So if you need help with that, I can help you with that. But first and foremost, I help you diagnose where is your audience coming from now? What is it that you're already doing well? Let's figure that out because it's a good clue. It's something good to know. If you already have a steady stream of clients coming in from one particular source or another, it's good to know that because maybe we can actually tweak that and turn that up and get even more that way, right? But website views to website conversions, which are filling out that lead form on your website or hitting the buy now button, depending on what type of website you have. Right. For me, for example, I own 3 websites. I own Project Help You Grow, I own irabowman.com, and I own Bowman Digital Media.com. All of those websites, nothing is for sale. Like you can't hit order now, right? So irabowman.com, it's for my coaching business for Bowman Coaching. And there's a form that you can fill out to, basically let me know you're interested in one-on-one social media coaching. On Bowman Digital Media, I actually have a menu, a full menu, all the different things. How much is it to, manage a company's social media pages? How much is it to create a press release? How much to design a logo or to create a video? And there's actually a couple different types that I offer. All of that stuff and more, like writing a blog article or joining me on a LinkedIn Live, those kinds of things. The pricing is all there on the website for you to see, but you can't actually order it. You could just send me a contact form or an email and say, hey, Ira, I'd like to talk to you about your project, because that's how I set it up. But some of my clients have e-commerce things like, my wife sells Scentsy. On her website, you can just hit the order whatever product, right? If you're ordering some of the wax, or if you're ordering, a new warmer, or you want a nightlight, or you want some of the cleaning products, or maybe you want one of these new buddies. They call it the Disney buddies. They've got all kinds of products. Those you can just hit the order button and actually process the order. So there's a couple different ways to do that depending on how your website is set up. So here's the thing with Marketing Mondays. I'm always going to come prepared to talk about some things, but I'm going to always preempt my pre-planned stuff for your questions. So for example, I see Michael Norton's on here. Michael runs Tremazing, and they're operating the Zig Ziglar page, Ziglar Inc. on LinkedIn. If he had a question about that stuff, he could just drop it right now in the comments, and I would address it above whatever it is I'm going to talk about. So today, to get started, I think the number one thing that most of you don't understand is the analytics behind your audience. How to identify busy activities, what we call vanity metrics, versus like the serious numbers, the things that can affect where you rank when somebody Google searches your business. Kind of important, right? So the tool that I use most for website rankings is SEMrush. Now, in full disclosure, they're not paying me anything. This isn't like a paid endorsement or whatever. This is just the tool that I actually use, okay? The number one thing that I look at is the domain authority. The domain authority is a score that goes between 1 and 100. So if your website has a high domain authority, the odds of you ranking higher on a Google search or a Bing search or whatever, right, goes up. So one of the very first things that I try to do with my clients is identify where they are. Okay, here's the benchmark, the watermark, if you will. Where are we starting from? And then I try to help them build that up. Now you can build domain authority in quite a few ways. There are backlink building, there's content, keyword content for sure. Site speed plays a role, and then how many different websites, strong websites, are referring back to you. There's things like press releases. Those are some of the tools that I use. Blogs, guest blogs, appearances on other podcasts, things like that, where they will link back when they link back to you from their website. It really helps you to build your domain authority. So you want to work on all of those things. All right. If you have a specific question, if you have a website, I can actually look it up live on the show, and we can actually, if you're open to it, I can show you what your domain authority is. I can tell you some things that you might want to work on, like number of backlinks, for example, or keywords. Another thing that's always helpful is if you have competitors in your space. Who doesn't? Frankly, we all have competitors, I think. One of the things that we can do is we can actually analyze your competitor's website, figure out what they're doing well, see if you can emulate some of that and add that, strength to your own process, so you quit losing for that while you're doing some of these other things. What is the best way to get featured on people's process? I don't quite understand the question, so you might want to give me just a little bit more detail. For example, if you have a solution that you want me to, highlight in mine, it would depend on what it is. But maybe if you can send me a little bit more detail, because I don't quite understand the question. So, for example, if I have a client who wants me to recommend them, here's a perfect example. I have like Curtis Tompkins, who runs Job Ready Today. Well, I run Project Help You Grow. Project Help You Grow is a free tool. I'm helping people find jobs around the globe for free. When someone says to me, "Hey, Ira, I don't want to write my resume, or I don't want to write my own cover letter. Do you know somebody who can help me with that?" I actually have 3 people that I recommend on a regular basis. I recommend Curtis Tompkins. I recommend, a couple other people. I'm actually not going to say who they are. Okay. But I do. But the reason why I recommend him first, I know the quality of his work. He's worked with me for the last couple of years, so I trust him. I like him. And I've talked to a lot of his clients, and a lot of his clients are like, "Yeah, helps me. It was great. I got a job right away." Those kinds of things. So, podcast. What is the best way to get featured on people's podcasts? Yeah, that's a different question for sure. One of the ways to get featured on podcasts is just to offer yourself. Say, "Hey, I saw your podcast, and I think I would make a good guest for you." Maybe what you do is you send them a couple links to some of your other podcast performances. I hate to say appearances is probably a better way to say that, right? Like, I'm on podcasts all the time. I actually turn down a lot of requests. People say, "Hey, will you join my podcast?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't do a ton of them because I don't get paid to do that." You know what I mean? It's like, it gets to be busy work. But when you're trying to build your brand and establish yourself, it's not a bad strategy. So one of the ways, if you're not getting the invitations organically, one thing you can do, make posts and say, "Hey, if anybody has a podcast, I'd be willing to come on your show," right? Reach out to the podcasts themselves. A lot of them are desperate for for people to come on. They can't make a show without guests. So, maybe do some Google searches for the, podcasts on whatever it is that you do. You're in California also. Perfect. So podcasts, you can do podcasts from anywhere, because of the remotes. Most people aren't having you come in studio. My podcast studio is here in my house. I have never had a single person come and do a podcast live with me, except for my wife, because frankly, she lives here too. So other than that, everybody's always done remote. So, sometimes navigating the time zones, like I've done podcast appearances in Dubai, in Australia, in excuse me, Europe. I actually did my very first podcast, I think was a show that was recorded in Africa, in West Africa. And I got the day and the time wrong, which was amazing. But I wasn't as sophisticated as I am now, right? I didn't. I thought I knew the time and the date, and I had it. I had it 12 hours off. I was off by the AM and the PM. So, anyways, could get a little confusing. But although I think I think most of us get that now. Greetings from California. I'm in California. I don't know if y'all know that. I am in the Empire, is where I am. I tell people greater Los Angeles area because most people don't know where the Inland Empire is. But if you are familiar with the Inland Empire, I'm just south of Riverside in a little town called Moreno Valley, 150,000 people or so in our little town. To know more about Bitcoin mining, send me a DM. Yeah, I don't think anybody really is interested in Bitcoin mining. I have yet to find the one person who's interested in that. I get a lot of people who spam us about it, but not actually seriously interested in it. Not that all Bitcoin miners and all things Bitcoin related are bad. It's just, it seems like the industry needs a very good lesson in how to approach people because spam doesn't work. I need to start a podcast. I think, yeah, starting a podcast is not a bad idea. There are a lot of them though. So here's what I'm going to say. Like this is, Marketing Monday. It's one of those things like pick a topic where people are actually interested in it and then be consistent with it. Right. It's hard to, if everything's an episode of Seinfeld and you don't know what it is about, it's hard to get people to watch it. Right. It just is what it is. And then having some good show graphics, do some good show promotion, especially if your domain authority on your host website is good. That helps. If you have a website that's obscure and then you have a podcast host that nobody knows and you have guests that nobody know, it's going to be hard to win. So you got to have strength there in one of the three at least, and the fourth being the topic, right? So have a good show topic, host it on a website that scores well if you can. And if that isn't possible, have a host that has name brand recognition. That helps. If you can't do that, then try to get, the most well-known guests that you can and ride their coattails a little bit, right? So there's some advice for launching your podcast. If you do, you might notice like all my shows have graphics. That helps. Also, I like the intro and outro music. I'm actually going to be designing some intro graphics and outro graphics for this show now that I've decided that this is one of the shows that I'm going to run with. So Marketing Monday next week will have its own intro and outro graphics, which will be kind of fun. So for your podcast, that all helps. You can see me privately, Ian, if you'd like. I have helped people develop their show concept. I've helped people launch their podcast, and I've developed their show graphics for them. If you're interested in paying for assistance, or if you just want to pick my brain, we can have a session if you'd like. Happy Monday, Ramdev. Nice to see you here. To know more. Oh, looks like we're just reading the same messages. Does anybody have a question? So I know this was not a pre-planned show for all of you. I just went live and announced it's Marketing Monday, and this is no show. You can actually set this schedule now if you'd like. I'm going to be coming on, I think I'm going to do from 11 a.m. to noon Pacific time, right? So that would be, what is that, 2 to 3 Eastern and 1 to 2 Central and noon to 1 Mountain time. You can adjust wherever you are in the world. If you're coming to me from somewhere else, like in Dublin right now, I think you guys are 8 hours ahead of me, I believe. So let me see. Is it 8:47 p.m. in Dublin right now, Bernard? I don't know. You tell me. I think I hit everybody so far. So let's talk about branding a little bit. A lot of people are confused by this term branding. What is branding? You'll notice that I have my logo like everywhere, right? Branding is getting people to start to recognize what you do, associate your imagery, and just put it all together. So it isn't advertising. Advertising is like the ads that I put out, get a video created by Bowman Digital Media. Allow Bowman Digital Media to run your social media for your business. Those types of posts or those types of things that you would see where you could click on, those are ads, those are spots, right? Branding is more the story that you tell consistently. When people start to identify Bowman Digital Media with website creation or managing your website for you or your Google ad campaigns, right? Running your Google ads. That's what branding is. Branding is associating a business or a person with a type of activity, right? And you want to be communicating that in your posts, in your emails, in your newsletters, in your phone calls, when you're talking to people. I have pretty much I have my logo everywhere on everything. You know what I mean? So when I'm sending you an email, in my signature, there's my logo. And that's for branding, but it isn't the message itself. That, like I said, that message might be a sales message. It might be an advertising message. It might be a marketing message. But the branding is the story that I'm communicating consistently. That's the brand. So, for example, Gary Vee. Gary Vee's personal brand, part of it is in your face, brash. He pulls no punches, super smart marketer, right? But his branding is not like choir boy. You know what I mean? You understand? He's got a persona, and that persona is his personal brand. Business personas or business branding is the attitude and the services and the way you communicate all rolled up together. So if you're confused with the branding, a lot of you are. That's really what it is. Okay. So for example, William Smith is asking if people are interested in Bitcoin mining. So that one comment is not branding. It's a comment. But in that, he's established that he does do Bitcoin mining, or at least he's willing to teach people about it. I'm assuming he's trying to sell you his services, right? Based on that comment. Oh, my friend Mariella said it's awesome to see me live again. Yeah, I've actually got another show coming. My wife and I haven't locked it down completely, but we're gonna be doing a show together. It's gonna be fun. I haven't exactly decided the topic or the name because I haven't nailed down the day and the time, but I will be doing that soon. My wife is getting better and better. She's more and more feisty, so that means she's more and more healthy. So thank you, Mariella. It's good to be back on live. I took a little bit of a pause from the lives. I had done lives every day for months, and I was just a little burnt out. I needed a little bit of a space and a pause to kind of figure out what shows I wanted to do and how much time I wanted to dedicate to it. But Bowman Digital Media is my main source of income, right? It's the business I run to make money to pay for my bills. So the Marketing Monday makes a lot of sense for me. So this is going to be my number one show. I'm thinking that I'm probably, and this might be to the chagrin of some of you, going to stop the Follow Me Fridays. And the reason why is there's so many imitators out there. I think people are just kind of like, follow me out, right? It was very successful for me, right? I helped a lot of people make a lot of connections. Hundreds of thousands of people made millions of connections over the last year and a half or so that I've been doing Follow Me on Follow Me Fridays. And the show is only about, I think, 4 or 5 months old, but it's just not getting the audience response that it used to. And I think what it is just there's so many people who came out and started to imitate what I was doing because it was working. And I don't blame them. I mean, it's how it works, right? But at the same time, you can find Follow Me stuff everywhere. So I think I'm going to be done with that for a while. Corey Moore is my brother from another mother. This guy and I used to go to the same church when I lived in Texas. Corey, hello. He's been working his tail off to graduate to. Now I can't think, is it bachelor's or master's? Anyways, one or the other. He's been working his tail off. I'm super proud of this guy. If you are in the New Braunfels, Texas area. So right there on the edge of hill country in between San Antonio and Austin. If you're looking for some super talent, Corey Moore is your guy. You guys should all connect with him. He's super friendly. Former military, retired military, I believe. And anyways, super cool guy. Happy to have you here on the show, Corey. What we're doing right now, we're doing a new show. I'm just launching it right now. It's called Marketing Mondays. So I was explaining to people about how to build their digital audience for their website, for social media, to help with their sales, marketing, and advertising and branding efforts. So that is what the show it is, Masters. I thought so. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't being silly. I know a lot of people that are working on degrees right now. In fact, my brother's just about to finish his bachelor's degree, and I'm super proud of him for that. What has been your best tactic for gaining leads in your own business? Okay, so for me, social media. Let's talk about this a little bit. You're going to hear from every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the world trying to sell you lead gen. And I want to tell you that most of those are a waste of time because they're automated spam bots, is what they are. And when people get those, it's not effective. Email campaigns used to be super effective. The thing with email, though, is it's like the number one communication method right now. And everybody is just at their limit. Like, quit sending me spam is the attitude that you're going to find. So when there's a hint of selling anything in an email, it loses almost all its effectiveness, especially if the person doesn't know you. So if you don't have any recognition from that person that's receiving that email and it's salesy, it's like delete spam. Goodbye. So for me, here's what you do. Yeah, green. Oh, we miss green. My wife and I, we used to go eat in green and get some steak. And I'm telling you what, mwah, we miss it. We miss New Braunfels. We really do. We loved our church. We loved our home. We loved the community. Just didn't love the job. Too bad. Too bad the job. If I had had a decent job there, we would have never left. But anyways, we left because of that. But New Braunfels, our house and everything, it was awesome. So yeah, Corey, you'll like Marilla. She is a super sweet lady. She's in the Santa Barbara area here in California. So super nice. But back to the question about leads, which was right here. For me, it has been social media activity. People say, Ira, you're on social media all the time. How do you make your living? Well, I make my living on social media. Here's why. When I engage with people on social media, they get to know a little bit about me. Now, you still don't really know me. Trust me. There's more to me than what you see on social media. There's more to all of us than what we see on social media. So you're seeing what I want you to see, right? But the fact is, we can build rapport. We can build trust. You know that I'm not just trying to sell you something because, I want to pull a fast one on you. Like, for example, the Bitcoin people who don't really care about you. They don't know you. It's just a sale to them. But if you can build rapport, so it's a little bit of a longer game. It's not a game of checkers. It's a game of chess. In fact, it's lots of games of chess all going at the same time. But you're building relationships with folks. You're getting to know them. You help them out. They help you out. You build that relationship. And then what happens is, John, this is where my leads come from. The folks that I help the most are kind of like now my champions. In the sales game, we call them bird dogs. They're out there, they're interacting with people, and they find somebody. I just got one today from one of my friends. This person knows somebody who needs help that I offer at Bowman Digital Media. She DM'd me, she let me know, started a three-way conversation to introduce us, and I get a lot of my business that way. So my number one best tactic for getting leads is to be authentic and help people on social media, and then they help me bring people in. So that's been my strategy. Now, not everybody has time to do that. That's what Bowman Digital Media does for others too. I have a lot of clients where I run their social media pages. I run their Facebook. I run their Twitter. I run their LinkedIn. I make posts for them. I make comments for them. So their business owners, their business can continue to do what they do to make money. And we do lead generation. It's organic lead generation that way. Now, I also run Google ad campaigns for folks. I help them create, I don't run, but I help them create drip campaigns. But in the drip campaigns, I don't just do emails. I work in phone calls. I work in letters, networking events, multiple points of touches. So your DMs, right? Multiple types of touches with a drip campaign can be much more effective than just a one-off shot of an email that is not going to get read. So hopefully that helps. If you have a specific question, other than that, let me know. But that's kind of the idea. So let's see. Mariella runs a website. I'm going to pull her website up real quick because I want to give her a little promo. She runs a company that helps people prevent fraud, right? So in the digital world, being scammed is like it's one of the worst things that can happen to you, but it's happening more and more all the time, right? So business and risk. Oh, what am I doing wrong? Mariela, I have your website wrong. I was going to pull it up, but apparently I don't have the right website anymore. I thought I did. I thought I had fixed that. Oh, I do. I just have it wrong there. Okay, so it's businessandrisk.com. I'm going to pull it up right now. So this is Mariella's business page. Okay. Thank you for visiting Business and Risk. Are you just starting a new business, an established business? Anyways, check this out. You can go through her archives. You can read about them, what they do. You can read their posts, their partners tabs, contact them. We can contact them. So reach out to Mariella. She can help you keep your website safe. She can help you from losing your data. Those are the types of things that they do at Business and Risk. So this is Mariella's website. Hope you will check it out. You can bookmark it. And if you have any questions, if you have any questions, here's the website address right there. It's business-and-risk.com. Mariella is an amazingly kind person. She has a lot of experience. She knows what she's doing. And she's one of my good friends. She's here in Southern California, and she's saying thank you. She's very gracious. So anyways, if you would do me a favor, if you run a website and you are worried about any type of, hacking, pen testing needs, any of that stuff, reach out to Business and Risk, and Mariella will get you squared away. Okay. Do you have a social media profile, business page for your business on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube? If the answer to any of those 5 is no, one of the things for Marketing Monday is a tip for you. Get something up. I don't care if you personally enjoy being on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. That's really not relevant. Okay. Because here's one of the things that I have to teach my clients. It's not about you. It's not even really about your business. What it's really about is your target audience. Where is your target audience at? How many people are on YouTube that would use your business if they saw you on YouTube? How many people are on Twitter? Again, you might not like Twitter. And frankly, I'm not crazy about Twitter. I'm not crazy about Facebook. I really don't like the politics of Facebook, the company, not the people on Facebook. But it is what it is. There are plenty of people on Facebook that are potential customers for Bowman Digital Media. So we have a Facebook page and we put up content because we're trying to attract them, not support the platform itself. Not about enjoying the platform. This is not entertainment. This is business. So if you run a business of any kind. I don't care if you're B2B or B2C, right? I don't care if you're professional services or your e-commerce. Irrelevant. You need to have a business page on each one of those platforms and start building your audience. If you don't want to manage the content, if you don't want to be the person who's creating the graphics and putting up the posts and monitoring the comments and responding to the comments, that's okay. You can hire people like Bowman Digital Media to do that for you, but you need to have it. It will help you build. Somebody was asking me about lead gen earlier. What's your best source of leads? People are 3 times, now listen, 3 times more likely to purchase from you when they visit your website if they come from a social media platform as opposed to a link from paid sources, Google ad, YouTube ad, Facebook ad, whatever. Why? The reason they're more likely, 3 times more likely to purchase from you if they come from a social media platform, from a post or from your page, is because of trust. The fact is, when they do a Google search and they get a Google ad and they click on it and they come to your website, that's the first time they've heard of you. They don't know you. There's no trust there. So you build the trust in social media, and then when they come to you, they're more inclined. The proclivity is to purchase from you on that first visit, which is amazing. Okay. How do you determine where your target audience is on social media? That's a little bit trickier. You have to first identify your audience, your avatar. So that's an exercise that I work with my clients on. But it is something that's important. You need to understand the psychology behind your demographics, right? Your audience. So where are they from? What is their income level? What is their education level? When are they on? You know what I mean? What hours are they awake? How much do they even use social media? For example, if you're looking for business owners and your avatar is 55 to 65, like it is for the company I work for at Exit Your Way, right? So our avatar is a little bit older. A lot of those folks are not on social media. They're just not. So if you're only reaching out on social media, you're missing. Now, at Exit Your Way, we still have a LinkedIn page, a Twitter page, a Facebook page. We're on social media all over the place, right? In fact, I even help our business to grow our social media pages. But we've incorporated other things in our game to reach out to those business owners because we know that they're not specifically on social media. In fact, part of what we do is we go through, I don't want to give away all our secrets, but we're working on people that aren't necessarily the decision makers and then get them to help champion for us to the business owner to get the appointment with the business owner. You understand? So listen, Ira, times are changing fast. The only way of doing business is and will be the future. Make sure you do everything so that you can retain your income. There's no doubt about it, right? So you're going to have some attrition. The people that are running businesses now in your, like if let's say again, you're going for business to business owners, the person running those businesses now, that generation that are not, they're primarily not on social media. But the people that are replacing them, the next generation, they were raised on social media, right? Like I've pretty much had an email. I know I had one in junior high. You know what I mean? And I've been out of high school for 25 plus years. So, think about that. I'm in my 40s. I own a business. So I am a business owner in my 40s. But as a business owner in my 40s, I was raised not on social media, but I was raised on the internet. The internet became a significant part of everybody's life pretty much in the 2000s. But in the 1990s, a lot of us still had the AOL dial-up, make the funny noises. And so we're very comfortable with the technology. COVID was one of those disruptors that accelerated the change from, in person to online. In fact, one of my clients, Joe, the finance guy, his post today, is, are you shopping primarily for the holidays online or in person? And my guess, the hypothesis here, is that more people are not only shopping online than in person this year, just as a whole, which I think will be the first time in history that that's true. But even the people who normally shop online typically buy some things in person. I think my wife and I, and she's sitting here, she can answer this question. I think we've pretty much shopped 100% online this year. Not necessarily by choice, but because of the COVID circumstances, it just is what it is. Normally, we would make a couple runs to like Walmart and Costco, and I hate to say the mall because I hate the mall, but we go to the mall, certainly strip malls, outlets, things like that. Typically, we would go and do a good amount of our shopping. And why? I'm kind of old school. I like to touch things. I like to inspect it. If I'm spending $100 on a present, I want to make sure it's not cheap junk. You know what I mean? And that's my problem with online stuff is you just have to trust that it's quality as opposed to being able to like touch it and inspect it. But you can send stuff back if it isn't what you wanted. So that's where I'm at. That's my daughter right there. Get back to class. Little slackers. So that's the question that he asked. I'm guessing that the bulk of the responses are going to be online and that the percentages, well, I'm not expecting everybody to say 100%. I'm guessing a lot of them are going to be close to 100% online. And that'll be a major shift. That's a paradigm shift. Now, once things go that way, I don't know that they're going to turn back, right? Right, 100%. And look, Black Friday, which is usually one day, the day after Christmas, well, now, or I'm sorry, Thanksgiving, and really it starts even in Thanksgiving now, right? I know we used to go to Southern Hills Baptist Church in Las Vegas, and Pastor Tice's wife, her name is Heather. Heather Tice, she's like notorious for her Black Friday shenanigans. Like it's a sport to them. And her and her daughter go, I know they still went out this year because I saw the post on Facebook. They still went out. But like it used to be like year after year, it used to be like this comical thing, for doing that. I think she's really the only person that I saw with the Black Friday post with them like actually doing the Black Friday shopping. I know for me, I bought a lot of stuff. Black Friday's been like now it's a cyber, I don't know, it's like a month of Black Friday deals. It's really kind of changed, but certainly everybody's geographical area has been a little bit different with terms of lockdowns and stuff. Today, officially in California, in Southern California, we're on lock. We're not supposed to like leave our house for the next 3 weeks. It just is what it is because the ICU beds are under. I think it was 12% the last time I heard on the radio. So don't hold my feet to the fire there, but I think ICU beds in our region were down to like 12% availability, and they're really worried with the models that it's going to go up way past 100, not even 100%, but like the highest one I think was 120% was the forecast, right? So they have us locked down again to try to, that whole 14 days to flatten the curve, which has turned out to the whole of 2020 and who knows how long into 2021. It just hasn't been successful. But, that idea, we're back at that idea, like everybody to stay home. So, we can't go out now. Now, retail locations are limited to 20% of max occupancy. So if you have a retail store that'll hold 100 people, you can have 20 people in it. The lines are going to be out the door. You know what I mean? Well, my wife and I don't have time for that. She went to Walmart yesterday because it was supposed to go into effect at midnight tonight. So she went to the store yesterday in between morning service and evening service for church. And there was a line around the building. She's like, yeah, ain't got time for that. We needed groceries. So we got to eat. We got to feed this herd of ours. We have 6 kids at home. We have 8 kids total, but 6 are left at home. And one of them's coming back here in a minute for holiday break. So we're going to have 7 at home. And then my mom's coming for a couple weeks to visit. So there's going to be 10 of us in the house again. So we got to feed all these people. You know what I mean? So anyways, we had to get food. But I don't know. What would you say food shopping has been? 50-50? Maybe different than that. Like
What do you mean?
for how much you're ordering online versus how much you get in person.
Oh, I try to go in person unless I'm sick or with my head. So
Yeah.
head thing.
The head thing made it bad. So for a while, because of her concussion, she was ordering almost everything online. So I don't know. There might have been a month where 100% of our groceries were purchased online, but we do like to shop in person. That's again, we're a different demographic. The younger kids are probably like,
It's cheaper to shop in person.
it is less expensive, and you get, like to pick out your fruit and vegetables and stuff, which is nice. So, anyways, we still prefer in person shopping when we can, but this year has definitely been a lot different. And services like DoorDash and things like that that do deliveries now, for you can get pretty much anything you want delivered. So to Mariella's point, things are changing. The paradigms are shifting. The COVID-19 has certainly been a part of it, but this was all on this course before COVID, of course. Just but the change rate was slower. Remote work, for example. Here's just another, completely different topic, but remote work was very rare. Most of us had never worked from home before. In fact, most industries, they said it was impossible to work from home. Well, we've proven that to be false thinking, right? There is pretty much almost every industry has at least some of their force, their employees are working from home. No, not all of them. Certainly you can't run a hospital staff. You can't run a hospital from home. You got to be there at the hospital. You know what I mean? So there are certainly things that have to be done, a restaurant, for example. But you can have, your administrative services, your sales services, and those types of things. And you can have reduced staff. So you don't necessarily have to have 100% of the people there, right? The print business, we were one of the very first people to be like, because I was working in sales for print for 20 years, right? So it was like, hey, if you don't need to be here at the shop, don't come in, because there was only so many people that could be in the building in California. Even when you were running essential services, which we were, we still had, a limited number of people that could be there. So the sales team, some of I think all the admin for the most part, HR, customer service, all of those things, anything that wasn't production related, basically, or distribution, because you still have to have, your shipping department available, packaging and coordinating with the delivery teams. So anyways, all right, it is 48 minutes in. I am almost done with the very first ever Marketing Monday with Ira Bowman. This is going to be on each and every week. I am not going to take a holiday pause. Why? Because many of you are going to be working through the holidays, so am I. So go ahead and mark your calendars. I will put up the new Ira guide here. Give me, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, and I'll have that up. This is the only show I'm announcing. It's my first. This is going to be my flagship show, right? So all the other shows are on pause. I am going to be doing Cup of Joe still. Joe Stepke and I are going to do that. I think we're going to do that on Saturdays is the day, but we need to actually, you know what? I think we did lock down the time. Joe, if you're on, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's going to be on at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. I think we're doing it at that time. So anyways, so we'll be on for that. If you have marketing questions, or if you would like to be a guest on this show, reach out to me, send me a DM, and I'll address it as appropriate, whether that be to answer the question or to figure out when a good week will be for you to come on as a guest. If you're looking for my websites, bowmandigitalmedia.com, it's down there in the bottom of your screen. IraBowman.com is where you can find me for Bowman coaching. If you don't run a business, but you want to build your social media, you're looking to build your audience. I had somebody at church actually yesterday. It was kind of cute. I have a kid, I think he's 10 years old or something like that. Anyways, super cute, comes to me and says, Ira, I run a YouTube channel, but I don't have any followers. Can you help me? Yeah, I'm going to help him out. And no, I'm not going to charge him because he's 10. So I'm going to do that for free. Okay. But if you have, something like that and you need help, I'm probably going to charge you, just so you know. Right. But Bowman Digital Media will help with that kind of stuff. But irabowman.com is where I do the non-business social media coaching. So I can help you with that. And then if you're a job seeker out there, or you're an employer, or you're a recruiter, all things for all three groups are 100% free. It's what I call a philanthropy. You might think of it as a charity. Think of it however you want, but it's a free tool for you. There are no ads on the site. I'm excited because actually I just had 2 new sponsors sign up. So that will be announced shortly, not announced yet, but one of them is Erica Warfield Sales. So I appreciate her. The other one has not finished signing all their paperwork yet. So I'll wait to announce them, but that's going to be on the website, but there are no ads. There's nothing to buy, right? Me and the sponsors, we pay for everything to provide the service for you. So job seekers, you can come on, you can post your resume, you can look for jobs, you can read the blog, which will teach you all kinds of job search strategy, advice, and tips on how to find your job more effectively and faster. For recruiters, you can come on, you can post jobs, but you can also search for candidates and you can hire people without any fee at all. So you can search for the industry in the area, see the candidates. A lot of them have their resumes there. If they don't have the resume on the site, they almost always have a link to their LinkedIn profile because they can do that. Again, it's free. And then employers, you can do all the same stuff as the recruiters can do. You can send me your jobs if you're an employer and I will list them for you, or you can list them yourself. But if you list them yourself, I'll actually boost some of your jobs for free too, to reward you for doing that work. Let's see here. There's a theory that we'll all stay home and work. I have not seen, surprisingly, actually, I have not seen a great effort to address what I call Zoom fatigue. You could call it lack of human interaction, like real human interaction. I was running a show called Speed Networking with Mike and Ira. Now, Mike and Ira are no longer friends. So Mike and Ira aren't running a show together. I'm getting ready to launch a new show. And it's not a show, it's an event for to fill in the void. But what people liked about that was they could come on, they could do an elevator pitch. It was all video, but you could sit at these tables. Like imagine you're at a live networking event, right? And you have tables of 6 or 8 or 4 or whatever. And you could sit down, have a drink, have an appetizer, chit chat with the people at that table. Then you could get up and walk around and do the same thing later. That's kind of it. The platform is called Remo, and we're doing the event on Remo. I'm going to be launching an event again, not yet announced, but coming soon. Announcement is coming soon. I'm going to be calling that Power Hour with Ira. So that's going to be that. I'm going to have some different things with Power Hour than what I was doing on Speed Networking with Mike and Ira, but same idea. Basically, the idea is where you can come and get some of that. You still don't get the physical contact. So for those of you extroverts out there who like to hug and touch, that doesn't help. But what makes it a little bit different than a Zoom call or just, you guys watching me is it's interaction, and it's not just 2-person interaction, it's groups, right? You can come and meet new people, and every week you can come back and build a rapport. So that's what I'm doing. But I am surprised that I don't have more. There isn't more out there. So maybe there are some things that are in development that would just people haven't announced yet, or that they're doing that I just haven't heard of. That's either one are possible and probably likely. Look forward to Saturday's show with Joe. Yeah, Joe and I are really good friends. I call him my LinkedIn bestie, right? So he's Batman, I'm Superman because I'm smarter than him. But he has more hair than I do, so there you go. But anyways, yeah, Joe and I, we have a great bond, a great friendship. So it's fun. That one is kind of like a Seinfeld episode because we don't typically have there is no script. We typically have a couple things that we want to talk about, but it's a lot of banter. It's really just me teasing Joe and Joe being gracious about it. That's really what it is. But anyways, he's my buddy. So we're going to be doing that. So I've announced Marketing Mondays with Ira. You're watching it now. It's about to wrap up. And then the Cup of Joe will be on Saturdays. And my wife and I are going to be doing a show. Date and times to be announced and topic. It's just going to be me teasing my wife, probably. But there'll be that. I'm sure we'll be talking about business to consumer because she's a director for Sensi. She has an independent Sensi consultant. She's a director level. So she has a team. So we'll probably be talking a little bit about multi-level marketing and Sensi and e-commerce and those types of things. So it'll be fun, but it'll be me and my wife. We'll talk probably about some things about, like raising kids, and we're both business owners. So, I mean, you can imagine probably what the topics will be, but it'll be fun because it'll be a husband and wife show. So that'll be cool. And we did one show together and we got lots of good reviews. So that's where it's like, all right, we should make this a permanent thing. Plus it's just time with my wife, which is always good for me. And my wife said it's not good for her, but that's the relationship we have. Then I've also announced that I'm going to be doing a power hour with Ira. I haven't figured out the date and time on that. I want to figure that out, but it's basically going to be a networking opportunity for you guys to meet and hang out, not just with me, with other folks. I am going to be having a guest host each week. That's the plan. And so it'll give people an exposure. So for example, who was it that said they were looking at hosting a podcast? That was Ian. So somebody like Ian, if you're looking to be a podcast host and you're not sure, would I be good at it? Would people be interested? The guest host spot on Power Hour with Ira would be a good one for people like you to explore, because it would give you an opportunity to try to like carry it, but not by yourself, right? And some of the things that we talked about earlier, having, name brand recognition. Well, certainly with my 200,000 followers, I have a little bit of that. And, I can do the graphics, and I have websites that rank. So for advertising, that helps too. So anyways, that should be fun. Thank you, Robbie, for your endorsement of my personal friend, Joseph Stepke. He's AKA Joe the Finance Guy. Check him out if you haven't seen. I put a post up for him today on Facebook and LinkedIn, and it's asking the question, are you doing more of your shopping this holiday season in person or online? That's the question of the day. My name's Ira. I'm signing off, so I will see you for sure next Monday, but probably before that. So stay tuned. And oh, by the way, let me remind you, if you're coming on late or you didn't see it, check this out. Put this on your calendar. You want to go, it's 2 p.m. Eastern, December 15th. I'm teaching a course with Alibaba. Their course series is called Digitation Sprint for U.S. Manufacturers. My course is course 6 of 8, and it's Digital Marketing Deep Dive. I'm going to be talking about all the different sources of website traffic. We're going to be talking about paid advertisement, social media, email campaigns, backlinks, referrals. We'll be talking about all of that in detail. How do you judge the performance of your website? How do you judge the strength of your website? How do you build an audience? Those are all the things I'm going to be teaching in the class. It is 100% free, and I will be taking questions at the end of the course, right? So I'll teach the course, then I'll take questions, Q&A. And again, that's for Alibaba. I'm looking forward to teaching it. I hope you will join me. I will be making a post about that probably in about 15 minutes as well, because I'm excited to teach the class. Anyways, my name's Ira. Y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time here on Marketing Monday with Ira Bowman. I still can dance. Come on.